Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. Special warm welcome if you're brand new here. My name's KiwiSimsKate. Kiwi because I'm from New Zealand, Sims because I love the Sims, and Kate because that's my name. It's as simple as that. Welcome to another speed build here on YouTube. Before I get into the nitty-gritty details about what I'm building today, I want to give a big shout out and thank you to the EA Creator Network, which I am very fortunate to be a part of. And I've partnered with them now, so you can actually use my code KiwiSimsKate to support my channel. All you do is enter this code KiwiSimsKate into the checkout if you're buying any Sims 4 content through the EA app or sims.com, and it directly supports me and my work. So let me know if you do use that. I would be incredibly grateful. So today I'm working in Strangerville, as you can probably see already. I love this world. It's gorgeous. It's so unique in the kind of grander scheme of all the worlds that we have. And I really love the style here. Today I am building another build to do with the Gshade Hollow save file. And I love this group of builders. I love being a part of these save files. The other builders are incredibly talented, and yeah, I'm just very grateful to be asked back to do another build for them. This time I'm doing an existing household in Strangerville. So we all contributed to the same world, to Strangerville, and we're all using limited packs. So I'll go through the list of packs first that we use, and they're also down in the description below. My build here uses base game, Get to Work, Strangerville game pack, Werewolves game pack, Journey to Batuu game pack, Laundry Day stuff pack, Paranormal stuff pack, Crystal Creations stuff pack, Industrial Loft kit, Little Campers kit, Basement Treasures kit, and the Grunge Revival kit for Creator Sim. So I'm rebuilding the Sigworth household and lot. So the family are available to download separately on the gallery, and this home is also available to download. So I believe I've just called the home Sigworth Household 2.0, or possibly something like, because the original lot is called Riverside Grove. Maybe I called it Riverside Grove 2.0, and then I also have Sigworth 2.0 on the gallery as well. So you can either download them individually off the gallery, there is no CC in this build, or you can download the entire save file for Strangerville off the Gshade Hollow website, which I'll also link below. There's also a bunch of other really incredible builds as part of this collab, so go and check them out as well if you love your Strangerville gameplay and builds and storylines. So I'll just give you a little breakdown of the in-game description for this family. The Sigworth family is rather new in town. Jess, the mum, had to transfer to Strangerville's national base. After spending a few days on the base, Dylan has started to notice something is a bit off about his wife. Although Dylan is doing all he can to reassure their daughter that everything is okay, Christy is starting to catch on, and it's only a matter of time before she realizes what is going on. So the family consists of mum, Jess Sigworth, dad, Dylan Sigworth, and their daughter, Christy Sigworth, who's a child when you start the game. And they've just recently moved to Strangerville, being kind of placed in this world and at this area for Jess's job. Now, I used the family story as a basis for the build for this house, and I wanted this build to feel like it belonged in the world, but also that maybe it was, and I don't know if I've achieved this because I just used some, at least for the exterior, I used reference photos online, but I wanted it to feel like maybe they had just rented it as base housing. It's quite a large home though, even though it's only 2-bedroom. It is a big 2-bedroom house, 2-story with a basement. And then the external kind of features I wanted to look, fairly generic, and I wanted it to feel like it blended in quite well with this world and on this lot. So in the basement, we've got a few little hidden treasures, which I'll get to when we finally get to that part of the build, which I think is a little bit later on. But I'm sure you can maybe imagine, if you know the family, if you know the Sigworth household, you may know that actually the mother, Jess Sigworth, is one of the Sims in the world of Strangerville that when you start the game, she already gets possessed from this kind of, I don't know what you call it, like an infection that's going around Strangerville. That's kind of part of the whole Strangerville mystery. So if you play through the mystery, you do find out why it's happening and how to how to help the town, etc. It's really fun. If you've not played through the Strangerville mystery, I really recommend it. I think this is a great pack, so I recommend it if you haven't got it already. But yeah, playing through the Strangerville mystery is really fun. I did it as part of a Globetrotter challenge that I was playing on my Twitch streams, and it was a lot of fun. I won't give you any spoilers about kind of how it turns up at the end, but yeah, it's fun. It's definitely a must do if you're into gameplay in The Sims. So that's sort of where we meet the family, as they've moved and the mother is acting quite strange, and between certain hours in the middle of the night, she sort of wanders around possessed, and they're not sure why. So I've added a few things to the basement for the dad, for Dylan, that kind of nod to the fact that he's trying to figure out what's wrong with his wife. I basically talked all over the exterior of the house. I do go through at the very end and do the landscaping, so I'll probably talk about the exterior when we get to that stage. Here I've figured out the floor plan. I wanted 2 stories. I really wanted to do this kind of large, I guess it's not shotgun if it's 2-story. Is that right? I'm not sure. Shotgun style houses are not super common in New Zealand. They're definitely a very American thing. So I used a lot of reference photos, and I wanted this to be roomy enough. So this is the living room that I'm finishing now, and I didn't want this house to feel too modern or too fancy. So I've used a lot of items that I feel maybe they could have picked up secondhand, or I don't know, there's just something about the colors in this house that feel a little vintage and a little slightly retro. I use a lot of greens and oranges, browns, darker wood tones, dark and warm wood tones. So yeah, it's like slightly dated, but not old-fashioned. And I think it fits quite well with Strangerville, with the sort of general vibe. But in the living room, we have this sort of fake fireplace area. Obviously, there's some activities in here. So there's a bookshelf for your Sims. There's a television. I placed that like old school telephone that we got with the Basement Treasures kit. I had a lot of fun using the Basement Treasures kit with this build. I thought that it had quite a few fun items to add here. And because I thought of sort of keeping this house slightly more retro, I thought that a lot of those items were quite perfect. I also go back a little bit later and add a coffee table. So at that stage, I think I just forgot about a coffee table, and then I think, oh, there's a lot of empty space here in the middle of the room, so then I do adjust it slightly. The other thing I wanted to do in this house was I'm really trying to get in the habit of replacing as many of the light fittings as possible. I used to be a little bit lazy, if I'm honest. If we're telling secrets here, I used to be a bit lazy, and I would often just leave the really simple, small ceiling spotlights in, because they work really well in giving off light around the room, and they just work with so many different styles. I need to get out of that habit, because when it comes to decorating, it's kind of fun to have some kind of pendant hanging from the ceiling. So I've been trying to use more and more ceiling light fixtures where appropriate. Obviously, in some cases, I feel like in bathrooms that the spotlights are probably more common just in general. But if it's not a bathroom, I'm trying to remember to replace it with something else that's got maybe a little bit more character or a little bit more style. So so that's my challenge to myself. This kitchen, I really love how it turned out. Again, I'm using some, I guess, sort of retro colors and vibes. This brown of these cabinets feel really outdated, and I love it. I love how outdated these cabinets feel. I think that if they were in my house, first of all, I'd be grateful that I owned a house. But then after that, if I saved up enough, I would absolutely renovate this kitchen. It's a wonderful shape. Like, I love how much space there is here, and there's so much storage. You can see there, I almost forgot to add a fridge. That is so typical of me. Yes, there's lots of space. There's lots of bench space, that really large island in the middle, which I love. But the cabinets are just quite ugly. And ugly in a wonderful way in The Sims. But if I had to live here, I think I would be saving up to renovate this kitchen and probably have it in the same shape, but just more modern cabinets. Because these are just a weird brown as well. They're not the best. Anyway, you've got everything you need there in the kitchen. Plenty of appliances. I placed a microwave down and a coffee machine. And then here I'm just pulling out a bunch of clutter to make it feel a little bit more lived in. At times while I was building this, I kept trying to build it as if they've just recently moved in. And then I kept forgetting and just adding more clutter. So once I finished, I realized it doesn't really look like they've only just moved in. It looks like they've been here a while, and they've settled in quite well. So just ignore that. It's probably been maybe 3 or 4 months since they've moved in, and in actual fact, they've packed away most of their stuff, and that is definitely their home now, their space. They've made it fit their lifestyles. Then here in the dining room, oh my goodness, I loved using this wallpaper as well. This is one of my favorites. It's just got that really simple wainscoting across the bottom. And then this swatch in particular, I really love this kind of green, slightly blue tinged green, dark paint swatch. And then what I did is use the same kitchen cabinets again to line one side of the wall as if it had built-in cabinets for your crockery, your glassware and plates and saucers, etc., etc., which I feel like feels quite retro as well, quite a little bit old-fashioned. And then the Paranormal stuff pack is where those chairs come from. I adore the rug I use in this space. It's one of my favorites. It's a base game rug, and I really love the swatches that come in, because some of the colors feel a little retro, but then others feel really modern. So I think that I feel like I can use it in quite a few different style builds. I can make it look quite modern depending on what furniture it's paired with, or I can make it look a little bit more old-fashioned. Yeah, it's one of my favorites. I love some of the combinations of colors in that rug swatch as well, and I'll often start with that rug and then build a room out depending on the swatch that I choose of that rug. So also in this kind of space and near the back door, I've added a half bath, so just a toilet and a sink, which eventually I do add the here we go, the toilet and the sink here, and then just round in this little nook there's a washer dryer as well, a little space for your laundry, and just a bit of other decoration just outside this space. So there's that grandfather clock and some wall objects and things as well. Then I move upstairs, and upstairs, as I said earlier, we've got 2 bedrooms, the parents' room and Christy, their daughter's room. And they also have 2 bathrooms up here, so pretty spacious house. The rooms are not small either. They're pretty roomy. Christy has a big room for a child, and I would be quite jealous if I were one of her friends. And then there's a family bath, like a shared bathroom, and an ensuite for the parents as well. In Christy's bedroom, when I play tested this, because I play test all my builds that I upload to the gallery, so this has been play tested, and the one that's available on the gallery is playable, but I had real trouble trying to get the beds in this room to work. So I do change it after I've built it, and after I kind of made this speed build. So I can't remember exactly what it's like now. It's not that noticeable, the changes that I made. It's pretty minor. Maybe I take the bed out at the bottom. So there's still a bed for her to sleep in. I take something else for it to work, because I couldn't figure out what was blocking her using the beds. Like, she couldn't get into either bed, not just the top bunk. And I removed all these things. Everything that came anywhere near those bunk beds, I took out, and I kept play testing, and it was still not working, and it was so frustrating. I actually play tested this build live on stream, and none of us could figure it out. My community couldn't figure it out. The viewers couldn't figure it out. I couldn't figure it out. It was so frustrating. Eventually, I did something, and I can't even remember what it was now. But the version that is available on the gallery is playable. There is a bed in this room. And yes, your child should be able to access it. I just can't remember if I ended up with both beds in here or not. So Christy, I think, is quite eclectic in her tastes and interested in quite a few different things, like quite a hobby kid. She likes to try lots of new things. She's pretty active, but she also loves playing dolls. She loves reading. She loves being outdoors. So I gave her a few kind of camping type items. She also loves science and making things and exploring and tinkering with stuff. So I gave her the science table. She also loves music. So I gave her a radio here. I love this little pop-up book item, which I think came with the Werewolves game pack. And of course, this lunchbox is super cute. I love the swatch in the kind of rocket ship. So I've got a few things that kind of indicate her interest in space and exploration and adventure. And yeah, she's quite an all-rounder type kid, I think. Yet to find her niche. This landing space out here, I play around with a little bit, and actually this ends up being the idea of one of our community members online on our stream. they suggested, why don't you make a little reading nook up here? You could put some bookshelves across the wall, because I was like, this is a large space. There's a lot of room here, and I don't know what to do with it. So yeah, so my viewers helped me out, and I used, luckily, part of the available packs to me was the Crystal Creations kit. Was it a kit or was it a stuff pack? Crystal Creations stuff pack. No. Was it? God, I can't remember now. Crystal Creations stuff pack. Yes, it was a stuff pack. So these bookshelves, if you're wondering where they came from, that is where they came from. And then obviously this big kind of retro painting clock thing that came with Strangerville. If you know, you know. Those items were so big in, I want to say like the 70s, I think. The 70s is when you saw a lot of those in homes. And often the picture in them had this sort of weird like 3D effect, and you would be at different areas of the room looking at the picture, and it would change slightly depending on the angle that you're looking at it from. Yeah. Some of you will know exactly what I'm talking about and be like, yes, my parents had that in their home. Yeah, I've certainly seen them around. Not that I'm quite that old to have seen them in the 70s, but I've definitely seen them in people's like garages and things as a throwback. This is the shared bathroom as well, which, you know, it's just pretty standard. If you've seen any of my builds before, you know, I don't necessarily struggle with a bathroom, but they don't excite me. They don't excite me that much. They're just a little bit of a chore sometimes. I struggle to think of different ways to furnish them, but I quite like what I did at that one actually. That was a bit of a different shape, and I used a bit more of a wraparound counter. Just put some clutter up, and yeah, it's a bathroom. What are you going to say? But I did include a shower tub combo in that bathroom, just in case you had more children in this home, or younger kids, or yeah, no matter what you want to use it for. If you do have like an infant or something, or a toddler, you'd have a bath to bathe them in. This is the parents' bedroom, and I'm somewhat happy with how I furnished this. I found that space by the door. Well, there's two doors in this room. The door that leads outside into the landing, where I've placed two wardrobes side by side from the industrial loft kit and the mirror. I found that space really difficult. I couldn't find something that I thought really fit well there, so I went with those wardrobes, and I just stacked two beside each other. And I think it works, but I do like the opposite side of the room a lot more. I like the bed that I chose. Again, it feels like maybe it was something they got secondhand. Like it's not exactly a modern toilet. Not toilet. I'm just watching myself build the bathroom here. So bed frame. It's not exactly a modern bed frame. So yeah, it's a little bit dated, just like the rest of the house. And I kind of love that character that this house has. Then their ensuite is roomy, super roomy for an ensuite. I gave them a spa bath, which I thought was a little bit extravagant and also a bit old-fashioned, because like how many people have those in their homes these days? Or when you're renovating your bathroom, so many people just remove baths. I know that when I renovated the bathroom in my mum's house a few years back, she used to have a tub, and now she doesn't because she never uses it. You know, would have used it a lot when her grandkids and stuff were young and visiting, but she doesn't use her bathtub. So in the what am I trying to say? In the name of space saving, we got rid of the bathtub and I just put in a much larger shower, and it saves so much space. Moving downstairs, this is the basement that I was talking about. I'm just resizing it a little because it felt probably too unnecessarily large. I think I resized that second room even further down. And what I love this basement. I love everything about this basement. But what I really love about this basement is that it has a secret hidden room. And I used the secret hidden bookshelf door, which I can't say I've ever used. I might have, but it would be an object that I've maybe used once or something, possibly in like a build that I made for an occult sim or something. So that was really fun. I just love the tie-in with the storyline of the family. So my thought was that this is where Dylan, the father, hides, and maybe the mother, Jess, doesn't even know that that secret room exists. So maybe they moved in and Dylan kind of stumbled on it by mistake through that bookshelf and didn't tell his wife, and thought, this is a perfect place for me to set up everything I need in order to investigate what's going on with my wife and see if I can help her out of this possession that is going on, whatever it is. He probably doesn't even know it's that at this stage. And then the rest of the basement is, as you can see, it's got some activities. It's got that bar and the kind of worn sofa that we got with the Basement Treasures kit as well. So yeah, I love that space down there. It's really fun. I often love building a little basement in my Sims builds. And then this is where I do the landscaping and kind of finish up. I'm also using, you'll see me open the tool mod every now and then. You do not need the tool mod in order to download this build and place it in your game. Don't worry about that. I just need the tool mod to create it, but you do not need it in order to place the build. I'm also trying to blend the house in to its surroundings by replicating a lot of the plants that you see in this world and around the neighborhood. So a lot of this dry climate plant, like the cacti, the succulents, some rocks, these pink sort of desert daisies, I guess they are, and then a little bit of other more bushy greenery. And because Christy is a child and quite active and likes the outdoors, I also added the monkey bars out the back here, which I think are in the original build as well. And then also a telescope, a grill, and a place for them to sit out the back. The screenshots are coming up shortly. So if you do want to download this build, it's available on the gallery under my gallery ID, KiwiSimsKate. You can find this build, all of my other builds there. And if you search the hashtag Shedford Hollow Save, you can find the other builds for the save file as well. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you'll be notified when my new videos come out. You can follow me on twitch.tv/KiwiSimsKate, where I stream twice a week, and my Twitter and Instagram handles are also both KiwiSimsKate. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care out there. Bye.